Hello everyone, and welcome back to Make Believe. Well, we're playing the house in Fata Morgana. Last time, we got a glimpse of Giselle's life as a maid for centuries, as she was starting to lose her sense of self, until the Flaxen's hair family's grandfather started to live in the manor as the new master of the house. And she got close to him and was a happy life, until the day that his son poisoned him and she promised the the master that she would tell others that he died happily, not by poison. And so she was back to the life of loneliness. Oh, Nellie and Mel! Oh my god! There we go. Now we got to the Flex and Hair family. Nellie and Mel. Oh, dearest Mel, come over here. There are so many beautiful flowers. Now, Nellie, there's no need to run. You're going to fall, and you can't say I didn't warn you. I feel like these are the exact lines we had in the beginning. Hello, I never seen you before. Are you the new maid? Good afternoon, Lady Nellie. That is correct. It is an honor to serve you. Oh, did you do all this? I did not. The garden was your grandfather, Lord Hayden's work. Wow, is grandfather a wizard? Perhaps he was. Oh, yeah. This part of the music was kind of nice. I'm sure he would be delighted to know you like it. Did grandfather like flowers? Yes, he loved them quite dearly. Wow, I love flowers too. Never seen a garden with so many pretty flowers. Did you know this kind of flower is called a rose? Just like our name! Why yes, they do sound alike. And like the flower, you are also a very sweet little girl. Say, what's your favorite color of rose? I like all colors. But you don't like any the most? That's too bad. My favorite is pink. Pink roses are so pretty. Indeed, they are. Ah, jeez. There you are, Nellie. Look at this. Oh, my apologies. Please don't mind my sister. Oh, not at all. We were having the most wonderful time. That's good. I imagine we'll be seeing each other around. It was a pleasure to... Dearest Mel, let's see what's the inside's like. Mother says I have my very own room. So yeah, this is when they moved here. Uh, Slow down, Nellie. I beg your pardon. The inseparable siblings ran off towards the mansion, hand in hand. It was a heartwarming sight. Until later on, they kinda changed, and she became a yandere. A yandere Brokon. But the next moment, when they stepped inside, they saw something else. Oh, what did you see? The darkness enveloping the mansion seemed to flare up. The open door, heaping maw into its hungry bowels. Oh, the whole house looked as though it was cackling. Yeah, more victims. It was, I presume, the Witch's Morgana's madness taking form, a manifestation of how she felt now that her centuries in the making wish was bearing fruit. Those two children were the ones Morgana had been waiting for. Had I still had any willpower to fight left in me, I would have taken them by the hand and sent them somewhere far away. As if they would listen to the maid, but sure. I would have done something before the house swallowed them up, but instead, I just gently lowered my eyes. Misfortune would surely sink its teeth into those two children before long. Pain and misery would befall them. I knew no good lay ahead for them, but my heart had all but frozen solid. I had my hands full taking care of myself. So I let Hayden's beloved grandchildren fall into the witch's hands. I was, for all intents and purposes, Morgana's marionette. Ah, at long last, at long last, it has arrived. The time I have been waiting for so long for has arrived. Darling, devoted Giselle, I know not how to describe for you the fiery excitement burning within me. Ooh, what's this music? Oh, I know. I can tell you my story. Tell you exactly what that mild-mannered little boy once did. You'll be open to listening now, won't you, my dear? And you surely understand that I'm doing nothing wrong. Because you're my ally, my trusty servant. You and I, we live in the same world. We're as close as family. Are we not? Yes, as you say. So let us curse them, all of them. Let us inflict a pain worse than physical torture on them. Let us put their souls on the rack for all eternity. Curse them, make them suffer. Curse them. Now listen carefully, Giselle. This is a tale of a wicked man, and my curse upon them. The witch spat her curses for some time, the bile overflowing from her words, the pure, unadulterated hatred brimming within, consumed me more than the horrifying things they described. She was brutally honest, each word a carefully sharpened blade of animosity. How much bitterness did you have to carry inside you to become like her? How long did you have to feel nothing but hatred to become like her? I felt like if I let my guard down, I would be consumed by her enmity. He would become mine, and I would grow to despise them myself. All the while, I kept my mind on one single thing. That is, what was left of my mind, locked away inside a shell, my own creation. It was that solitary truth that allowed me to hold on to my human emotions, to continue believing. I am always waiting. My love will never fade. When I was still my old self, I called them master and would do anything for them. Michel, that was their name. They were beautiful. They had pearly white hair and ruby eyes. They are going to come for me. Oh. What a shot. Like, everything just blurred out. The old images just blurred out, the faces. You can't remember the face anymore. Michel, all I can remember about you is your name, your glassy white skin, your fiery red eyes, and your snow-colored hair. Nothing else. And that's why when I saw her that night, dripping from the storm raging outside. Yeah, I was noticing, like, everything you're describing, technically you're not saying that's a male, but all that can describe that white hair maiden as well. And that's why, when I saw her that night, dripping from the storm raging outside, I thought, you're finally here. Because I didn't remember enough to know any better. You already know who I speak of, don't you? Yup. The person who called upon Rose Manor that fated stormy night. The girl with almost translucent pale skin, chillingly white hair, and eyes like jewels. Ah, what a beautiful girl. Her hair, her eyes, her porcelain skin, it all matches the person in my memories. She must be the one I've been waiting for. If she is... Yeah. Is something the matter? No, I just thought I felt someone watching us. It's only your imagination, I'm sure. And if I'm not mistaken, it was Mel that was watching them. If not your imagination, then perhaps some unseen force was watching you. Like Morgana? Unseen force? Are you familiar with how people refer to this mansion? Rose Manor. Yes, indeed. It is called Rose Manor because you can smell the sweet fragrance of the rose garden even at a great distance. But that is not what I meant. It is said that a witch resides within the house. A witch? I've not heard of any such stories. You probably wouldn't have. It was a very, very long time ago. Nothing you need to concern yourself with. You have a peculiar presence about you. Could I consider that a compliment? A peculiar presence, she says. Does she sense something in me, as I do her? This has to be her then. Her name. I need to ask her name. It's getting late. You should get some rest. A room has already been set aside for you. But first, may I ask one thing? Yes? I did not believe you have given me your name yet. My name is Michel. Of course it is. Technically, I think you pronounce the same way. Michel. But it's the feminine version of the name. I knew it. Now, I wonder if it's like a reconstruction, as Morgana put it. An actual reconstruction should be a female version. Or if it's just a very big coincidence. Because then again, Michel also appears in all the multiple stories, so maybe? The only time she doesn't appear is in the most recent, or the oldest one, I guess. In the oldest story, where it was just Michel and Giselle. And she did appear on the version Giselle told, but that was all a lie because she was talking about Michel instead of herself. So, hey, it could be this is a reincarnation or reconstruction of Michel. I knew it. You're the one. What? You are the one I have been waiting for. I've endured so much in anticipation of this moment. So that I can reunite with you. Lady, you got the wrong person. You came to this place to see me again, did you not? held tight to those wonderful memories until you could make it back to me. I never gave up hope. I always believed, and I hope you praise me for that. And I ask you, please say my name. Please make me. I don't know anything about you. Oh, I'm sorry. You seem to be confusing me for someone we have never met before now. You jest. You are Michel, are you not? That is my name, yes, but it's a fairly common name. Surely you're confusing me with... That cannot be. That white hair, white skin, those red eyes, and that name, the name of the Archangel. Everything about you is the same. How can you say you're not my Michel? Please, Michel, remember for me. Stay away from me. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be rude. You would reject me? I'm so sorry. I honestly don't know you. Do you care nothing anymore for the time we spent together? We have not spent any time together. You would deny everything? I'm sorry. Yeah, and be it a cruel fate that Morgana made or something, it's just making it more painful for Giselle, because it's like she finally got her wish, but that wish rejected her. I see. So you feel nothing for me anymore. You do not need to say anything. I understand. You are feeling a great deal of disgust towards me. No, or perhaps it is fear. Yes, you are always so kind. You would not easily allow yourself to succumb to hatred. I understand. Please, forget everything I have said. Who are you? I am but a simple maid, nothing more. That's painful. Laughable, isn't it? I no longer recognize Michel, anything more than the concept. Man or woman, elderly or infant, as long as they had white hair, red eyes, and the right name, they were you. I needed anything I could get. I was so desperate, the thought that never even crossed my mind that she was not you. What do you think, seeing me like this? That I'm helpless and hopeless? I mean, she was in a desperate situation. Her mind just couldn't take it. She was grasping at straws as best as she could. Listen to this, Morgana. Michel is back. She's finally come for me. But she does not remember anything, it seems. Not me, not our past, nothing. She saw me and was afraid, in fact. Are you listening, Morgana? Ah, darling, devoted Giselle. You poor, pitiful soul. That must have been quite harrowing. But don't worry, you still have me. Besides, this might not be your only chance. As long as you continue on, Michel could appear before you again and again. Do you think she'll remember me next time? I can't say. That's up to Michel. You do have another option, though. Forget Michel yourself and seek out a new master. Someone who can be yours. Someone dedicated and faithful, who needs you. Someone worthy of this mention. Someone who needs me? That's right. Michel didn't need you after all. It's alright, don't worry. You have plenty of time. Oh man. Such a cruel fate. And then there's these two lovebirds. Then Nellie being angry and jealous of Michel. Because I think this is the first time we got a confirmed name for the white-haired maiden. And the two meeting there and everything. Yeah. Yeah, the two there, like, just a flashback of. It's raining again today. I kind of wonder what happened to him after he fled from the mansion. Although I suppose it doesn't matter much to me. The witch is surely watching him. Such a dreadful storm. It sounds like someone's crying. Yeah, I was, at that point, completely out of my mind. Broken. My smiles, frowns, and gasps had all been replaced with imitations. And that was shortly afterward, the flaxen-haired boy moved out of the house and went on to become a priest. Yeah, after this whole fiasco with his sister and apparently half-sister. The girl fell ill a few years later, her disease eventually taking her life. But the boy never once returned home. The Rhodes family crumbled. I couldn't bring myself to grieve for them, or to reflect on Hayden's sorrowful end. I simply waited for time to begin moving once again. And then we have Yukimura? I think that's the next one. 104 years later? Or the beast arrives. Little remains to be said about my broken self. But as I stated before we begin, this is the maid's tale. So I would like to take this opportunity to elaborate on events I was unable to show you before. That is, if you can bear listening to such a dismal, miserable story. Yeah, look, the soundtrack. I already told you of my meeting with the beast, so I'll begin the second tale from there. After Bestia slaughtered the merchant who showed up at the mansion, its mad laughter echoing through the halls. Yukimasa. Did I don't remember if I said Yukimura or Yukimasa, but yeah. Yeah, the maniacal laughter. Hey, did you hear that? Did you hear his screams? He said I was a monster. A mutilated body lay sprawled across the living room floor. As you can imagine, that was my first time ever seeing such a bloody, mangled corpse. I could not look directly at it, so I averted my eyes. Oh. Hey, you saw it. It just proved that beasts are stronger than humans. Indeed, you did. I know. I got a great idea. You asked if I want to become the master, and I said I did. Which means you work for me. Isn't that right? So you do whatever I tell you to, won't you? What would you have me to do? Chop off his arms and legs and make a stew out of him. Oh, we're going the cannibalist route, I see. And don't you hesitate, or you end up like him. Yes, master. He's trying to assert his total dominance over me. That's not proper behavior for the master. Although, I am the one who offered him the role. Do it! He's an utterly mad beast. But am I really all that different? Ugh. There's blood all over my hands. Sounds like someone's laughing. Is it him? Or is it her? Maybe both. No matter what happens, it won't affect me. And wow, that sound effect. The cocoon, not the real me. I was looking down at what only could be described as a pile of human debris. I had done this, but that fact did not register with me. I felt nothing at all. Not regret, not anger, not sorrow or despair. Put it on the fire. He said he traded in spices. That should give him a very unique flavor. How am I supposed to work with this? I was quite simply puzzled. No one had ever made such a request of me in my hundreds of years at the mansion. That's all I was. Puzzled. But he interpreted it as hesitation or fear. So he grabbed me by the shoulder, knocked me to the floor, and skewered me with that curious blade of his. Oh, okay, so we're going to torture, huh? For the first few moments, he wore that deranged grin of his, but as the seconds passed, it slowly transformed to shock. Not a drop of blood spilled from my breast, and the instant he realized it, I saw revulsion in his eyes. Him, of all people, a man who cackled as he slaughtered others, was disgusted by a mere maid. It was absurd. So much so, I almost wanted to cry. You. Is that all, master? Are you not going to dismember me? You could try stabbing my face, my neck, or my stomach, or any other part of me. Maybe then I might die. Oh, now, Don't look at me like I'm some exotic creature. Wow, she's the one with the crazy laugh now. Stop that. Quit laughing. Why should I? My only distinctive feature is my smile. I have nothing else. My hands are covered in blood, but I can still smile. It's ridiculous. Get it now. You're the witch, aren't you? See, only monsters ever had a place here. Every so often, I hear a woman's voice in my head. That's you, isn't it? You're the witch. Oh, so can he hear Morgana? Monster, witch, maid. What am I? Who is Giselle? Michel said she was spirited, true to herself, that she often laughed and cried and shouted. Ooh, the image getting distorted. See, before she couldn't remember their faces, but now she can't even remember herself. But I don't know anyone like that. I'm just a maid. Nothing more than a servant. The woman's voice he had said he heard was probably the real witch's, but I had no interest in that. I almost would have preferred not having to think about anything at all. Nothing would cause me to waver if my head was empty. A world without joy or sorrow. Sounds quite wonderful. But nothing ever went the way I planned. Or the white hair girl, whom I thought I would never see again, appeared before me once again. I was quite nearly in a panic. Beneath my perfectly practiced smile was a veritable storm of emotions. Faint hope flared up within my shell. Perhaps this time, Michel would remember me. But that hope was, unsurprisingly, in vain. Yeah, with now a short air. It's someone there, and this time she's blind. Yes, I came by to ask if there's anything you needed. Can I offer you anything extravagant? Not like before, but I am here to provide you with anything in my capacity. I appreciate the offer, but I need nothing. Being allowed to stay the night, more than enough, thank you. Do you work here in the mansion? Yes, indeed I do. I've been here for a very, very long time. A very long time? You might think this is an odd question, but have we met before? Something about you seems familiar. Huh. And I get the feeling I have been this mentioned before. Yes, we have met. It was quite some time ago, though. When was it? It was an unimaginably long time ago. Do you remember a boy and a girl with flaxen hair? Flaxen hair. I apologize. My memory fails me. Do you not remember me either? And yeah, I think I remember her asking these questions before. I was afraid of this. She doesn't remember anything this time either. But I will not be so pushy this time. I cannot bear to be so blatantly rejected again. I see. You should probably not push yourself to remember then. There were joyous times, and there were less than joyous times. But would you be so kind as to answer one question? What might your name be? My name is Michel. Yep. White hair, red eyes, and the name Michel. Why must you continue to bring me pain? Why can you not set me free as you were supposed to? I see. So you are Michel again. Again? You should get some rest. I will make tea for you in the morning. Also? Go on, close your eyes. The white-haired girl lay so quietly in her bed, I could not tell whether she was asleep or awake. Even the sound of her breathing was too faint to hear. Standing over her, looking down at her, the locked away despair and wails of lamentation I thought myself no longer capable of, came bubbling back to the surface. But can you honestly blame me? I had been waiting for Michel for so long. He was the one thing holding me up. He was the only thing keeping my broken self from falling apart completely. Yet, she claimed not to remember me. Did you pity her, having to go through tragedy after tragedy? But every time she showed up, she said she did not know me, bringing me more and more grief. I had been waiting for hundreds of years, waiting for her for so long, my mind slipping away with every passing day, waiting and waiting and wait. My apologies. I have to be careful, or I'll slip back to what I was then. If you weren't here holding my hand now, Tell me, you are Michel, aren't you? That's a relief to hear. Yes, thank you. I'm alright. Do you think I'm as muddled as I feel? Let us return to the tale then. You don't know what it feels like. You don't know how much it hurts for someone you waited so long for to say they don't know you. You have no idea how much it crushes me. Rather than feeling like this anymore, maybe I should just return. Maybe I should just end it all with my own hands. I reached my hands out towards her slender neck. I was not an especially strong woman, but I thought even I would be able to suffocate her with relative ease. She was blind, so she wouldn't be able to run. However, there was one thing I could not bring myself to do. I can't do it. Then she left the room. I ran and I ran and I ran. Though I knew I had nowhere to run, plunging myself into dimension's darkness. I did not want to be there any longer. I did not want to have anything to do with her. But being an inhuman inhabitant of the house, I could not close my eyes or plug my ears to what happened within its walls, as much as I may have wanted to. And it seems like this is the moment where she just disappears and it was just the two of them. Yukimura and Michel in the house. Yukimasa, sorry. Didn't matter where I was. I had no say in the matter. I was forced to observe the events until their tragic conclusion. Twisted, bloody madness, their wretched wails creating a whirlwind of misery. When it was all over, Morgana cackled like a little girl. Or that laugh. Go on. You have laughed too, my dear. There's nothing in the world better than this. He was a beast through and through. And what a fool he was to think he could become human. Ah, I love it. He destroyed everything he had with his own hands, and then couldn't even manage to mourn for it. Quite the unfortunate fate, wouldn't you say? Come on, laugh with me. Laugh with me, my darling, devoted Giselle. Michel is dead too, though. You worried about that tiny little detail. She'll show up again, of course. So you don't need to worry about a thing. You don't need to feel bad about any of this carnage. Rest easy, my darling, devoted Giselle. If you say so, then I shall not be concerned. Yeah, that's good. Laugh. Laugh, my dear. So, I guess now we're skipping over to Jacopo and Michel. I think he's married to her. And then there's also the maid Maria. I apologize for making you listen to my dreadful stories for so long. You must be quite weary of them by now. But worry not, for this is the final one. And despite being the end, it is neither dramatic nor exciting. It was a single phrase, the most insignificant of all of things, that caused me to completely lose myself and forget I had, long ago, been the woman called Giselle. There was no malice in it. It was but a simple greeting. Now, I do appreciate all the soundtrack in this game. And then we were revisiting all the soundtrack as we go through the time with her. Do you remember how the first time she arrived, Michel said I had a particular presence about me? She felt something there between us. And the second time, she said something about me seemed familiar. She did not remember why, but her soul recognized the bonds we shared. But this time, nothing. So I assumed the next time she showed up, she would feel something even stronger. Or perhaps even have her memories. Despite having been let down again and again, I still held on to the faintest glimmer of hope. But when she appeared, she was someone else's wife. Yep, Jacopo. Hey, handmaid. Get up here. I'm right here, sir. It's something the matter. I figured you should get to know her as soon as possible, since you've been spending a lot of time looking after her. Hey, get out of here. Get out here. Christ, there's not a goddamn confident bone in your body, is there? I'm sorry. Hope you're right out. Me. First thing she said when she saw me was, "It's a pleasure to meet you." It's a pleasure to meet you. What had I spent all that time waiting for? It was all for naught. It was all meaningless. In this era, she felt nothing at all for me. In retrospect, it makes enough sense. But for me at the time, the end. Okay, for a second I thought we're just gonna end the story there. Morgana, cast me into the darkness. Make me a formless being like you. I don't want to be here another second. I don't want to look at her over ever again. Morgana, listen to me. I'm begging you. Now, what's the matter, my dear? It's not like you to throw a tantrum. I can't take it anymore. I can't do this. Michel again. Oh, you poor thing. Betrayed 3 times now. Morgana, you pitiful girl. Don't groan like you're having a bad dream, my dear. I am here for you. Please, Morgana, erase me from existence. If you go away, then I'll be all alone. And that would be absolutely dreadful. But tell me, what torments you so, my dear? What? Michel, whom I've been waiting on for so long, doesn't... Oh, you poor thing. You spent so long riding the currents of time that you lost sight of yourself. What? You've convinced yourself that someone else's story is your own. Someone else's? Yeah, indeed. It was such a beautifully tragic tale you fell in love with it. Oh, wow. It resonated so deeply with you that you felt their pain as if it were your own. What are you talking about? I wanted to tell you, my dear, but you were so convinced it actually happened to you that I couldn't bring myself to take it away. Then, what about Michel? She's not the one you're waiting for, and you're not hers either. Then, what about Giselle? That is not your name. Then, who am I? Who are you? That's a very silly question. You are this maid's cursed witch. Oh my god, Morgana. Just gaslighting her, huh? The witch? That you are. You're both the maid and the witch. But how? Do you truly believe that someone who has eternal life, who doesn't bleed when they're cut, who can smile no matter what happens to her, isn't a witch? How much of this Giselle's memory do you actually possess, my dear? How clearly can you remember her life? You can't, can you? After 500 years? Kinda tough, you know? You don't know what kind of story Giselle and Michel wove. And you wouldn't, because you're merely an onlooker. Much like you are now, for this present tale. And by contrast, how much of the witch story do you know? You should know it very well. Yes, but that's because you... No, my telling to you is not the reason. The details are rooted deep within your memory. Then, that's right. You are the cursed witch Morgana. Oh my god, the gaslighting. But you... You split into two because you refused to accept who you were. Think about it. Have I ever shown myself to you? Have I ever shown myself to anybody? Why? I am the witch that you are. I see. It all makes sense now. Everything has fallen into place. There's one thing I still don't understand though. This story I was so enamored with. Giselle's and Michel's story. What kind of story was it? I would be glad to tell you. You look like you're ready to know the truth. Oh my god, the gaslighting is real. I believed every word she said. All my worries melted away like they were nothing. The sight of the white-haired girl no longer kicked up waves in my heart. In fact, I found myself wishing for her to find happiness. I was an observer, watching and hoping for the best. The tragedy that befell her did sadden me, but I felt bad for her, like I would a character in the story. Oh, and this, I remember the little, like the cinematography paper thing that Jacobo gave Michel, and that she treasured it for all those years. I brought you your medicine, Master. Thank you. Just set it down over there. Yes? What are you staring at? My apologies. I was simply musing about how much time has passed. I can hardly believe it has been 40 years since you were a bright young businessman. And you haven't aged a day. Why, thank you. I am a witch, after all. Wait, is this the after story when he lived by the mesh? Jake will live in the mesh by himself after Michel ran away? Well, I don't much care what you are. You could be the Green Reaper for all. You still work harder than anyone else. May I ask you a question, Master? Is it? Why have you not returned to your homeland? I thought it was a place quite dear to you. I can't wait for her there. Oh my god. He's still waiting for Michel to come back. That just made the story even sadder. Do you still believe she will return? To a degree, I understand how difficult it can be to wait. Though for me, waiting now brings more joy than pain. With your lifespan, Master, it would be pain that went out. Perhaps you should consider letting go. Tell me, was her name really Michel? Why, yes, it most certainly was. But why would you ask such a thing? Have you forgotten your own wife's name? You have waited so long that it would seem, like me, some part of you has begun to break down. You poor, poor man. Wow, seeing somebody else being affected by this. You know, you look a whole lot more pitiful than me. Oh my. Oh, there you are. What has you such a flurry, my dear? You're a noble servant. You must maintain your composure at all times. But the master, what about him? He was found deceased in his chambers. The doctor just came out. He said it was his ailment, and it would seem the master knew his time was short, for he left a will, asking not to be given a funeral. I see. I feel kind of bad for him, though. Not only did he not have anyone his side for his final moments, he didn't want to be sent off at all. Isn't that sad? It is for the best. There is not a single soul in this world left who could send him off. Yeah. With your era drawn to an end, this mansion will soon return to existing nowhere in this world. I wonder what the next one will look like. I wonder if misfortune will befall her once more. That would be quite regrettable. Perhaps if I could convince her of her tragic fate, she would be willing to disappear from this realm with me. And if she wishes to fight that fate, perhaps she'll become my new master. Calling her master seems inappropriate, but I cannot think of a word that fits better. I eagerly await the next hero. Please, do not keep me waiting for long, master. Yeah, now she's just convinced herself. Or rather, Morgana convinced her. But I feel like this is an appropriate moment to stop. So, we revisited the stories from the past. Mell and Nellie story from the Maze Point, and then we visited Yukimasa and Michel as we finally learned the white hair girl's name. And then we visit Jacobo and Michel's story, as well as the after story after Michel had left and Jacobo was still waiting for her. Man, that was sad. But after even losing her sense of self, Morgana gaslighted her into believing that she was a witch and that Morgana was all but just her consciousness that split a personality aside to maintain some level of sanity, and that she was the witch Morgana and that she was not part of the Michel and Giselle story. She was merely an onlooker who had adopted that tale that she read or seen long ago. But yeah, that is all for today, and now I'm curious what's the next step's gonna be. Because perhaps we're finally gonna go back to the present? Well, we'll see. With that being said, see you next time. Bye!